Hello, I hope everything's going really well for you these days. Just wanted to focus on some basic nutrition ideas for you. We've got some meat is all of a sudden we hear that there's some meat plants closing, there's poultry plants closing. It has got into our areas where we thought that food would be available to us. Now all of a sudden if we can't get it from the plants, they have to shut down for some time. What are we going to do? Ourselves, our family, we loaded up quite a bit on meat, and so we're good for a while, but I'm going to still make sure that meat stretches out as long as I can. We do not need to eat meat as much as sometimes we think we do. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the Canada Food Guide. So the easiest way to make sure all your meals include the nutrition you need is to follow the Canada Food Guide. This guide was recently revised. Now that was January 2019, so just over a year ago. We want to answer the needs of a diverse population. All countries can have access to this guide. Guidelines for being able to incorporate this easily into your daily meals will precede a discussion of nutrition from various foods. Now that's what I have in my book. I do go into a lot more details about nutrition, but basically following Canada's Food Guide will do it for you. Sometimes it can boggle your mind, but a good understanding is worth it to achieve and maintain a strong, disease-free body. So it is a good idea to know those things, but if you follow Canada's Food Guide, it'll be right on track. Coincidentally, keeping good nutrition in mind actually improves your memory. How about that? It's a good thing that we want to have going forward. So it's not going to be so mind-boggling at all. You eat well, you're going to develop so much understanding about everything else that's going on around you. And when you put exercise in there, your brain will really be a superpower, which is what I'm going to do after I have a little chat with you. I'm going to go out for a walk. It's just a beautiful day where I am, and so I'm going to certainly get out there and have a nice walk in the fresh air. So over the years, there was some discussion from various concerned health groups that the Canada Food Guide was not so easy to follow and could be somewhat misleading as to what foods really are okay to add into our meal planning. Hence, the revised version was worked on and brought to us at the beginning of 2019. So my attempt here is to make the use of the guide as easy as possible to make sure it is something that you can adopt into your life. It has to be easy, easy, easy. The previous Canada Food Guide provided an outline to ensure inclusion of the proper foods in the proper amounts to result in your body taking in all the necessary nutrients to maintain a healthy body. Void mean absence, nothing there at all. We don't want any health issues. We need to make the body strong to be able to have a little defense against these different viruses that come around. This healthy body can then be in prime health to maintain an exercise regime that will enhance a healthy body. Rather than a vicious circle, it'll be a healthy circle. The Canada Food Guide has attempted to save you the time of figuring out what and how much you need of your necessary nutrients. It's a really easy way to follow. Now this is why I've got a little picture here of the deck of cards. What on earth does she have that there for? And a nice little grouping of tomatoes, and then an empty spot on my plate right in front of you there. So what you do, you divide your plate. Half the plate is vegetables, half of it. So I have 2 plump tomatoes there sitting right on half of the plate. So you can fill it up with a salad, fill it up with mixed vegetables. And I have some ideas coming up to give you a sample of what you could put on there for your vegetables, because half a plate sounds like it's a lot, right? But it is easy to fill up that half plate with vegetables. Now, the deck of cards there, that represents the meat. That is a quarter of your plate is meat. That's all. Now, that deck of cards, that's about the size of the meat that you should have. So when you're serving up yourself from the counter or from the stove, it's about the size of your palm of your hand. That's what the size of meat it is. You don't fill up half your plate with meat. It's a quarter of a plate with meat. And then the part that's left over, that is for your grains, whole grains. Now those grains, that could include a mixture of wild grains, that could be a couscous, whatever you feel that you would like to have in there. There's such a variety of grains available, but that's where you put your grains. You can have potatoes also. Okay, so that's what you get for the other quarter of your plate. Not a half plate full, a quarter plate full. So some other examples would be half a plate full of green beans and carrot mixed together. Then you can have the whole grain rice, and you can have a quarter plate of chicken, some nice barbecue chicken. Half the plate could be salad, and then the other half could be a spaghetti sauce and whole grain noodles. So you try as much as you can to get whole grain in your pasta, noodles, and your rice. You could also have half a plate full of asparagus. Now that'd be very nice. Have a plate full of asparagus, very easy to do. And a quarter of the plate could be a nice barbecued pork chop. And then you could have a quarter plate full of mashed potatoes. Just watch how much butter and gravy goes on there, okay? And you think, what? Only a quarter of the plate for meat? Yes, really. Meat is so often overestimated as to how much we need to put on our plate. So see, when we have a shortage of meat coming up, your quarter plate full of meat will be just fine. You're okay. So if you're thinking, okay, the next little while I have so much meat in my freezer, this is how I'm going to divide it up, it's probably going to go twice as far as what you're thinking. That's going to save you money. Okay, you won't have to replace the meat as soon as you thought you were going to have to. We have all kinds of alternates. We have fish, chicken, eggs is a really good source of protein for you. The required amount of vegetables is easy to reach with stir fries and salads, soups. It's a little harder to get a whole half plate full of carrots. So you can do a mixture. It's okay. It'll be really good. It's easier. Do a mixture of your vegetables. You get more variety of vegetables into you. So here's some basic guidelines to follow. Now I've got everything all pretty detailed in my book as far as the different ways you can have fruits and vegetables, the different ways you can have your whole grain foods, the different ways you can have your protein foods. So I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail right here for you. What I've already just said to you, that's really good for the basics, and just a little summary, and then I'm going to be off for my walk. So right there in front of you, you see the tomatoes. So that's where you're going to have half a plate full of vegetables. Whatever kind you want, half a plate of vegetables. The deck of cards there is your meat, 1/4 plate full of meat. The empty spot there is for whatever you desire to have for your quarter plate full of grains. Try as much as you can to make that whole grains. Okay, that's all we have for today. I think that was really good. I really like give a little chat to you. So I'm going to try to do this for more of the different areas that I want you to focus on to help you save health with your food and save money at the same time. And God bless you all. I hope you all do very well in the next few weeks dealing with the different effects of this virus going on for us. Okay? All the best. Stay strong, stay safe, stay home, and get outside also to get some exercise. Get out and enjoy the beautiful blue sky, the sun. I see so many things outside that are just normal things going on, and it's so good to see that. See the eagles flying, the blue herons are doing all kinds of great things up and down the river. So please do get outside when you can. Okay, bye for now.